Hi there, this video we're going to look at the weird and wonderful extras when we're looking at the crop tool, like all these different kinds of cropping grids. We'll look at deleting pixels, how to get them back, how to straighten images, so that you know that the horizon line is perfectly straight, plus a few other tips. Let's jump in there now. All right, to get started from your O5 cropping folder, open up crop 1 and crop 2. We'll start with crop 1. So kind of advanced cropping techniques, grab the crop tool, it's the fifth one down. And the first one is by default, it's probably on always show overlay, which in most cases is the rule of thirds. So if I click once anywhere in here, you get this kind of rule of thirds, which you might love. It just helps you balance compositions. I'm not going to go through what the rule of thirds here is. It's worth going and checking if you've never heard about it. It's really useful when you are composing an image, deciding on where it actually falls within this grid. It can help with symmetry and balance. I said I'm not going to explain it, so I'll stop. So first thing I do is I turn it off. I don't use it. I just find it's kind of in the way. So I never show overlay. But let's have a look at some of these other ones. Grid. Okay, I don't use them, but I thought I'd show you just because there are times where there's people that like this sort of stuff, and I want to let you know that this is an option. Golden ratio is cool. Golden ratio spiral. I'm not sure why this would be here in a crop. You might see this and go, oh my goodness, I can't believe I've not known it's here. But for me, I just go in and say never show overlay. What you can do though is if you do pick one, you can hit the O key on your keyboard. So O, and just kind of cycles through them all. So you can kind of, I guess if you're cropping and you want to look like, what does it look like? A rule of thirds versus golden ratio. I don't mean to dismiss it. It's just something that I don't do. So I'm going to go to never show overlay. Next thing is just making sure you know that you can delete crop pixels or not. So with it off, if I come down here and start cropping, I'm holding the shift key down to lock the aspect ratio. Okay, so that it doesn't kind of do this. Okay, so hold shift just to make sure it's kind of cropping nicely and will still fit in a frame. So if I crop this here with delete pixels turned off, what ends up happening is if I click on it again, you can see that stuff is all still there around the background. So it's very non-destructive. If I turn it on, okay, and I hit return, it's very different. Those pixels are on the edges are gone forever. Terrible crop down. So I'm gonna escape and I'm gonna undo. So you probably knew about that because we kind of covered it earlier on. And what I wanna show you though is, let's say you do a crop, or you've opened up a Photoshop document and it has already been cropped. Okay, so it's been cropped here. Know that you can rotate the crop by just kind of dragging it outside here. It's a strange old thing using the crop tool in Photoshop. But let's say we've got that turned off. Okay, we know there's stuff around here, but we just want to expand. So this is later on, we've cropped it, we've reopened it later on. We're like, I know there's stuff around here. So you're like, what do you do? Like, how do you get this to kind of expand back out? What you can do is you can go up to image, and there's one that says reveal all. So it's going to actually expand your canvas to match whatever's in the background. It's a great way just kind of like unpicking something, a Photoshop document, to see actually what's in here. Because sometimes you can have like cropped bits that are all the way out here, maybe big file size, or just bits of the image that you want or need to see. So just remember, image reveal all. Let's look at the last bit of advanced cropping is the straighten. So I'm gonna go back to the crop tool, and in here, it looks pretty straight, the horizon line. There's an option in here just to kind of double check. So if I click on this, and draw a line across the horizon. That's not a great line, but you get what I mean. So I've made sure it feels quite nice, and you can see it's about 0.3 degrees off. So I click on that. Can you see it straightened it up for me? It's twisted the image a little bit. Okay, so it's turned it on an angle. If I hit return, now I know the horizon line is kind of perfectly straight. Let's take that a little bit further with crop 2. Okay, this one's off a lot more. It's quite obvious. So crop tool, grab straighten, click and drag across it. But what we're gonna do is, so if I do this, there we go. You can see at the top here, there's all this extra gap. So I'm gonna drag this out because let's say that I want it rotated, but I like, if I hit return, it's kind of rotated around. So, but there's these gaps around here. So what we can do is before we use straighten, just turn on content aware. So like we did content aware fill in the essentials course. Whoop, wrong tool, I want straighten. Make sure content aware is on. Watch this, if I drag this around, and I expand it out now, and I hit return, give it a second, and it should fill in all the holes. Pretty cool, huh? There's a little bit of trouble with the tree there, but to be honest, I'm not sure who would notice. If it was your photograph, you might. John Tyson might be not as impressed. So if you are using straighten, just turn content aware on and it just goes and fills it. You can do it another way. Say you have done this and you didn't turn this on, or you've got a slightly earlier version and it's not available. So I want to straighten it up. Okay, so I'm just gonna straighten my horizon line. Deleted pixels is turned off, so I'm gonna hit return. So I know there's some stuff around the outside, right? So remember our trick, layer, and it was reveal all. It is not, it's under image, reveal all, come on down. And what I can do is grab, say, my magic wand tool, click that one, hold shift, grab that chunk, grab that chunk. So grabbing all these little triangles that are left, go up to select, and let's go to modify, and let's go to expand that selection, because at the moment, if we do it, I'll show you, it just goes edit, fill, and it works, content aware fill. But if I deselect, there's like this little kind of strip around the outside. So I just need to make that selection just a tiny bit bigger. Select, modify, expand. You can contract in there as well, it's cool. And let's expand it by a couple of pixels, maybe 3, doesn't matter too much, just so it's overlapping. Let me do the same thing. Edit, fill, content aware. Hopefully now, magic, it fills in those edges. Average job up here, but a pretty good job in the other corners. All right, so that's it with the crop tool. We're gonna do some other cropping. Somehow I'm gonna make it into like another 3 videos of cropping. But they're all interesting tricks. Let's jump into the next one now.